All right, we're fucking live. How's that for an intro? Got that from forward there. Good channel. But what we might be seeing in the coming days if Biden decides to implement the military and on his little plans, we see it from both sides. Republicans and Democrats are equally to blame for what's happening to our country. Trump's equally to blame for what's going on right now. I got a little music for before the show and after the show, so let's try and relax for a minute. Let some other people get in here. Hope you enjoy. Billy Strings here. Billy Strings. He's a young bluegrass and country singer.
Well, I went to Letty, hard work I've done. Then I went to the bar, now my money's all gone. Alabama bound, Alabama bound. Got a mule to ride if the train breaks down. I'll pick
All right, a little Going to Alabama by Billy Strings there. Ariel's got a long gun and it needs some rubbing before it shoots. Yeah, everybody's got. I've got to saw it off. But it still fires. You have to be pretty close range for it to work, though. It's a sawed off, but it's a double barrel. It still shoots out of both barrels. Well, it's a double barrel, like a single barrel, but it's got a double barrel reservoir, and it shoots it through a single chamber and through a single barrel. And it don't shoot too far anymore. It used to be able to blow a hole through the ceiling with it, but nowadays it don't make it past my knees. So you got to be close. You got to be close for that thing to work. It used to be a long gun, like a 30-06, double barrel, and it got sawed off. It got sawed off probably about 5 years ago. Thing just got sawed off, man. I don't know what happened to it. But seriously, what's going on with the guns? Biden is going to either enact an executive order about the guns because they're having problems destroying the filibuster in the Senate, and they didn't get what they want. When Democrats don't get what they want, they executive order everything. Executive order seems to be the name of the game. They're going to play Republicans and governors and Democratic leaders. We've let these major cities that are blue elect all these representatives, and they're going to play havoc with the fucking law books for the next 4 years. If something doesn't, if there is not an armed fucking revolution that is led by our militias or organized militias, and somebody doesn't do something about this, you're not going to recognize the United States will not be the United States. It will be a fragmented set of individual states trying to fend off Russia and China incursion, which will not be a good thing. And when your state starts drafting, Ariel, you're going, not sure, you and me are going, it doesn't matter what's wrong with you. If you're able to march down the street holding a firearm, they're going to recruit you. It's that serious of a man. I can't tell you how many nightmares that I had about our country going to crap, and I have prophetic dreams. I can tell the future through my visions and dreams. I just don't let it out to people because I don't think that connection to the divine that I have should be all that public. Now, I do let some things slide and I do talk about some things that I know will happen. What I see happening is they're going to let Biden use his senility as an excuse to take things to another level this time next year with the whole gun. This is just the beginning. What he's going to do tomorrow might just be all talk and pompous feather blowing, pillow puffing, getting the bed ready for something much, much more serious that will be acceptable this time next year, but not acceptable right now. If their plans all pan out. Biden wants to finish up the gaps in the wall because of the problem that's down there that he created by asking those people to come here in the first place during the election. You know, he won't admit it, but it's his fault. It's that serious, but it's a FF. We will see the next war fought on U.S. soil soon. Yes, not sure. It is that grim of a scenario tomorrow. All hell could break loose tomorrow, or he might just be fluffing the bed for a fatter lady come this time next year, or come the incumbent elections, the elections for the representatives and senators and congressmen come November, and all the other elections after that every November. And whenever some of these states don't hold elections in November, I know Arkansas, our elections are in May and November for stuff. Sometimes there's off elections, sometimes there's not. You just got to keep your ear to the railroad tracks. And I would love to go to Army, but I got this big ass surgery in my leg when I was 22. Yeah. They don't care what's coming. They'll take you. It doesn't matter. Your other thing might be an issue though, but you don't have to tell anybody about that. Hey, everybody, and that weird aerial creature. Hey, Cat. Welcome to the stream. Putin wants to look into Biden's eyes when it happens. I think Putin realizes that Biden is a senile old man, but that doesn't mean he's not going to play out every last word that Biden says and hold him accountable, hold the nation accountable for, because in effect, the dumbasses that voted for him, my mom voted for him, and she's now regretting it. She didn't want Trump in there, you know, but that kind of sensality talk, that just because you don't want somebody in there anymore, you're going to vote for the motherfucker that's going to take us to World War III. You're going to vote for the motherfucker that's going to take our guns, leave us helpless, and get us into a nuclear fucking conflict with the two biggest superpowers in the world. Within 5-6 months of being in office. Hey, Kat. I'm saying how astounding it is that we're letting these Republicans and Democrats lead us down this fucking road. Somewhere something has to give. I believe something is in the works right now to stop all this. If I would hope, beyond placing my hope and faith in anything like Jesus or a creator consciousness that I, tout all the time, that somebody, somewhere, some group is organizing at least 1 million armed people to fucking do something about this. If not the military itself. Now, the letter between PNR movement says that we are in a military coup and trust the man, In the end, Biden still didn't win legit. Yeah, exactly. Vote, that's a pointless word. Voting, it is unless they fix everything that's wrong with it. And they're not letting, see what Coca-Cola and the MLB did to Georgia. Georgia, was it Alabama? Georgia, that passed the they passed simply that you had to show your driver's license to vote. Coke and left, all these other companies left and took the MLB Major League game to Denver, Colorado. Being childish, that's like somebody smashing your sandcastle in the sandbox, and then you take his G.I. Joes and throw them in the fucking lake or something. Burn them, throw them in the fire pit, or whatever. It's just tit for tat bullshit. These corporations have no morality anymore. I mean, if you don't support showing your ID when you vote, what the fuck do you support? What the fuck does anything fucking matter? Why even vote? Let's just put 2 people up there and fucking stick a goddamn skunk in front of them and see which one gets sprayed, and that's the fucking winner. Let's open up a hornet's nest. Whoever gets stung the most between these 2 candidates wins. Or loses, I guess, because they probably fucking die, right? Let's randomly pick a jury of firing squad and then stick them in front of the 2 candidates and see who fucking lives next election, and that's our president. Like I said, if something isn't done, you won't recognize the United States and you won't want to live here. But they're going to make it to where there's no way out. There is no way out. Without getting the vaccine, you can't fly. You can't do anything. They're going to make it that way. They're facing troubles with it right now. But believe you me, if this administration continues, is able to continue their rampant destruction of our way of life, man, it's going to be mandatory vaccines. Oman said we were all Oman or Obama? Oh yeah, Obama. Yeah. If Obama said we were all racist, how did he do 2 terms? Most likely, the voter fraud was in full effect back then too. Because Americans are disillusioned, man. The average American doesn't scour the internet for information like some of us do. Like some of us have a lot of free time. The average American works 2 jobs and maybe catches 10 minutes of the evening news and then watches sitcoms or the comedy shows, the late night shows before he goes to bed on regular cable network TV. Okay? And if you follow the late night sitcoms and comedy late night TV shows, they are all speaking a democratic narrative. You know, oh, the vaccine's good for you. It'll make you grow chest hair, you know, and fucking Biden knows what he's doing. It's a conspiracy theory. They like to use the word conspiracy theory. So, you know, I would be in the bag as a conspiracy theorist. Yeah. Thing I do all day is regurgitate news articles and videos, news videos on deep state watchdogs with me and Stranger. Stranger is a busy guy, but he finds time to post on Deep State, man, and Not Sure does too. Ariel posts every once in a while. Those are the only 3 guys I got going for me. I'm a pretty good businessman. I mean, I can get people to work for me for nothing, even though it's not bringing in any money. But if it were, like I said, I got 3 guys that are able to, I can bring more on board if I reached out. I just haven't yet. I really need one more guy. I need a guy covering Odysee and Lbry content. Because a Stranger covers Bitchute and YouTube, and I cover YouTube. Not Sure covers YouTube and a couple article news agencies that I've said were pretty important to cover. He takes care of that, but I need a night guy that wants to post at nighttime. Because I've been doing the 3 a.m. thing, but here lately, sometimes I just go back to sleep. I don't post. I just like leave it. And there's a 10 to 12 hour gap there of no posts, you know, because Stranger goes to bed around 8 o'clock my time, and from 8, you know, so after I do my streams, sometimes I crash, and then, you know. Seen a line of getting the jab at Wally World today. Yeah, the elections have been rigged since oh yeah, I know. Everybody's got a pretty good life here in the United States and don't have too much time for anything else. But like, it's my pastime. I'm not making any money off of it. Like, actually want to go right now. I'm in Northwest Arkansas in Walmart headquarters territory. Cat, why you want to date? You look like you're in Seattle. You over by the Space Needle. You looking to date somebody with pepper, salt and pepper, facial hair, and fucking stained teeth and shit? Fuck no. God. I'm just fucking with you. Welcome to the channel, Kat. I appreciate new people all the time. I am going to zip over here to WordPress to see if I have made any money off of my AdSense. It's been a while since I checked, since it's not a thing that I checked on, because we hadn't made us any money, but like $4. I don't even know where to check it. Jetpack, feedback, polls. See, there's a lot of things I could do with Deep State that I don't do, like add polls and get involved with any messages, but I haven't had too many messages. I need the marketing. There we go. Marketing. Let's see here. Marketing, connections, traffic, connections. Why isn't my Twitter connected? Man, my Twitter got disconnected. I'm glad I checked that. That's maybe why my views went down. Hope nothing happened to my Twitter. To my Twitters. Well, I don't see where I can't find where. So you got to keep up with this shit or they disconnect you. Just start earning, manage payments. You add dashboard. Out. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I've only made $5.89 off the thing, and I haven't even cashed it out yet. But hey, that's a couple bags of tobacco every year, maybe. But the thing is not sure, and Stranger earned that. Well, mainly Stranger earned that because I got AdSense turned on, but I won't be turning it back on next year. I'm just going to keep my URL. That's $25. Hey, Frigga. God going to update Universe to Booster Pack 5.0 soon. Well, if you've been paying attention to the Schumann resonance and the ELFs, God's been powering us up for something or other. I know the past couple of weeks have been hell trying to sleep at night. My mom can't sleep. She's real sensitive to the Schumann. She's always asking me, "Is there something wrong with the electric field again?" And I'm like, "Well, now that you mentioned it, probably." So I'll go check it. Sure enough, yesterday we had a big spike, and she is asking about it. A few days ago, we had a massive one, massive spike, historical Schumann spike, ELF spike. And then we've got pressure off the backside of the Earth, geomagnetic pressure, and we still haven't tapped down where that's coming from or why that's happening. It seems to me it's some sort of eddy current that's in our geomagnetic field. I don't know. Nobody really knows for sure. Because we are going into trials and tribulations as far as the environment, the weather is concerned. And I just wish everybody would realize that and kind of come together, across boundaries and the frequencies hit between here, 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. and PNW. Yeah. So when it's 3 here to be 1 there, I wake up every morning about, it just depends on when I go to sleep, but I'm up at night. I'm in between 3 and 5 a.m. I can't sleep. Just Ariel says it's a powerful Aries season. Ariel's gonna take a shower before he chats with you, Cat. So get ready. He's gonna smell really good. But I remember that Schumann spike the other day was great. Yeah, it was. I felt like I was on fucking amphetamines or something. Of course, I am on my Vyvanse, but sometimes I get a little extra. Anyway, but your sleep is always interrupted. Yeah, I think anybody that's a sensitive hasn't been sleeping very well in the past 3 years because of the Schumann spikes. They're getting increasingly larger and larger. And let me check my Twitters real quick for some reason or another. That worried me. What the last post is on my Twitters. Now I'm broadcasting. Man, it's just been none of our posts have been going through. It's just me doing live streams. Oh no. That's why our views of I retweeted Ted Cruz. Our posts on Deep State Watchdogs, I hadn't even noticed, hadn't even been going through since, God, let me see. How did it get disconnected? Since March 24th. Man. It was military motivation, be savage, not average. Was the last one. I believe that's from Stranger. Man. No wonder our numbers have fucking went tanked. Well, 240 views today. Yeah, but they were up to 432 on March 18th, and then they dropped. And then we've just been hovering around 200, not 300. Man, I'm so glad I caught that. Anyway, let me get the VLF station up here, and I'll get a screen share going. We'll check the Schumann right now. If I can find it. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, I've been telling everybody to go over to Deep State Watchdogs for the news for the past couple weeks, and there is no news there on Twitter's, but it's all on the website. So most of my views comes from Facebook. I need to invite more people to the page, and the group is active on Facebook too. I need to invite more people to the group, but it's an open join if you answer a couple questions and you're in Deep State Watchdogs on Facebook. Yeah, if you notice that, not sure that if you don't see posts on Twitter, that means the connection has gotten messed up. If the page, if Deep State Watchdogs is still there, not disabled, it'll tell you if it's disabled or not when you go to the page on Twitter. If it's not showing news posts, tell me about it so I can go back in there and reconnect. Sometimes it disconnects me for some odd reason or another. It's the first time it's happened. It usually happens on Facebook. Over here at the monitoring station, we'll see that spike from yesterday is gone. We can see it there, though, on that. There's a small spike. That's the one I'm talking about. April 3rd spike. And then the April 6th spike right there. The 6th, see how massive that April 3rd spike was? And it happened around 1800 UTC. And then the one on the 6th, the BLF spike, happened around 1800, 1900, probably about 2200. See, today there was a small spike earlier today. But nothing too. There's that blue energy again on the spectrum, magnetic components of the spectrum below the long-term average curve red and the last waterfall line, frequency range 1 to 35 hertz. But there's that color band on the 3rd from that massive spike. And then we're picking up this frequency yesterday and today, that bluish color band frequencies in. So it might be gearing up. Whatever it caused it is still, we're still getting energy from it. That's that energy signature. It's just not as big. So whatever has been influencing us, continues to influence us in a low frequency. Oh, and something odd happened as like a timeline shift or something you talking about? Yeah, that was now shortly after the full moon timeline shift. That spike happened. Uh, or was it shortly before? When, Ariel, when was the full moon again? When was it? What day was the full moon? The last one. I know we're in a new moon right now. We had a pretty spooky witching moon the other morning. Yeah, it was yesterday morning, the morning before yesterday. I don't have my full moon calendar pulled up in front of me, so I can't remember which day it was. But yeah, that spike happened around the full moon timeline shift. March 28th, so April 3rd, it was after the full moon. Or was it the 6th that had that spike? It was the 3rd or the 6th that spike happened. And then yesterday there was a small spike that happened in the VLF, and the Schumann picks that up too. It carries over. But what we're looking at is electrical precursors, and that one of those earthquakes did pop off. Let me check the earthquakes, because I haven't heard anything all day about earthquakes. We got 5. I'll let you guys see earthquake 3D here. South America seems to be rocking with some quakes. There's a 5.4. Nothing in North America, really. Look at all that activity in between Japan and the Philippines. Man, earthquakes are rocking, man. There's stuff going on in China. Some highly suspect activity right here in the Indian Ocean. 5.6. It looks like a swarm. Off the coast of Africa. Now, when you see them down here and off the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, you know there's some major magma activity going on. 6.6 down here. There is we are in birthing pains. The planet is expanding. The planet is expanding at a great rate right now. I'm looking for some crazy news for the next rest of my life, pretty much. I don't think it's ever going to get sane like the 80s and the 90s. And of course, drugs made the 80s and the 90s. Drugs and the music made the 80s and the 90s, and the movies made the 80s and the 90s unbelievable, unbelievably great. We'll never get back to that. We'll never get back to that. I don't believe. Hopefully we can. Hopefully those that lived through the 80s and the 90s can bring that back to guys your age, Ariel, that never experienced that. But growing up in the 80s and 90s was exhilarating, to say the least. Especially for people like I don't know. The 70s was fucking out there. 60s and 70s was fucking out there. I wasn't alive then, but my brother was alive in the 70s. And he said growing up in the 70s was trash. But of course, we were a pretty poor family. I mean, middle class at the bottom of the middle class is where we sit. But they're trying to eliminate the middle class now. You know, great decades of distraction, yes. Not sure. I enjoyed the sitcoms of the 90s and much of the music. And I would have to say the drugs are better now, but they're just so few and far between. The 90s had just everywhere drugs, everywhere. But I'm not a big drug head anymore like I used to be. But I do like my prescription. Gets me motivated. Alf, where's the cat? Yeah, Alf used to be every night at dinner. We'd eat dinner and watch Alf, and I would say Alf is the pinnacle of entertainment value. If you've never seen Alf, go watch all the Alf episodes, man. You'll get hooked and you'll want to watch them all. Little furry alien guy with a long nose that ate house cats. He was an alien. He'd eat house cats. Harry and the Hendersons was good. Yeah. But before we get into too much of all that, I'm going to cut the stream. I'm at 45 minutes. I don't quite want to do an hour tonight, but I think I've covered pretty much. Ariel's watching Dexter's Laboratory. Well, you'll get to finish up Dexter's Laboratory. How about that? I got some blues for you. Enjoy, guys. I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out. Peace out, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.